Hello there, my young friends. In our previous encounters, you will have experienced the transfer of log from one place to another in myriad ways. You'll also have experienced the thrills of the wood people and the yawning chasm of profit that we're getting from the new sawmills. While the fiery new furniture factory hasn't yet rewarded us with massively thrilling profits, it will do, and that'll be tremendous. Rather than inflict further lumber-based activities on you today, we're going to be doing something new and riveting. Before that, however, I know that almost some of you are on the edge of your seat with anguished expressions, needing desperately to know, but what becomes of the wood chips? So here you go. Using the old lifty arm thing with a bucket attached, I sling them into the sparkly new trailer. I do this quite a bit, as you've seen. We then attach the trailer to Tommy Tractor and trundle to the town to turn this detritus into cash. This mission rather hinges on my ability to find the supermarket, who are currently offering the best buck for bang on wood chips. Quite why the supermarket is doing this is anyone's guess. Maybe they have a new range of wood chip based snacks they're trying to inflict on an unsuspecting public. I don't care, I just want the money. And there it is. Almost 6 whole grand. Well worth it.
Welcome to your EE voicemail. You have one new message. First new message. Received today at 10:36 a.m.
Hello, Mr. Turnips. I'm calling you on behalf of the First Cayman Islands National Bank with regards to your outstanding loan. We've monitored your transactions and it seems that rather than repaying what you owe us, you are instead making increasingly rash purchases. If you could call our client support line to discuss the situation at your earliest convenience, we'd be very grateful. Thank you.
Message deleted. End of messages.
I have, friends, opted to invest my hard-earned wedge in the acquisition of a new piece of land. As much as I'm far from using all of the land that I have right now, the slope that it's on is a right pain in the behind, and the only thing it's suitable for is terraforming, which I'll probably get to at some point and then, load it up with shops and warehouses and all of that kind of caper. But not now. No. Instead, I have opted to buy the field next door that I can then plant things in, which would be great. I could have bought the other field next door, which is already planted up with a vineyard. That, plus it being cheaper, means there's ready money to be had there. Easy peasy. However, I've worked with grapes before, and as such, they can f*** right off. Because grapes are no good to anybody. And they're a right pain in the backside to harvest. I don't need to justify myself. Suffice to say, that field can get knotted. There's just no money in it. You're gonna spend the best part of 50 grand on getting a harvesting kit together, and then you'll probably get back a tenner from that harvest. No, it can clear off. It's just a total waste of everybody's time, not least of all my own. As you can see, we're now cutting in the new fields. It's not a very big field, no, but cutting in any new field will take you what will feel like the rest of your natural life. Handily, it is marked out with these kind of muddy track things on either side. Oh yeah, look at the precision cornering that we've got going on. Absolutely magnificent. Oh, even lifting the plough. Well, I mean, you've got to do some plough liftage on your first time out, because otherwise you'll end up cutting into a bit and you'll go, oh, that's not a field. Is it completely straight? No, it's not. It's organic. It's natural. There's a flow to it that makes it feel ever so slightly zesty. Ever so slightly human, ever so slightly field-like. Obviously, if I'd have been thinking about how do you make this a cinematic experience for your viewers, what I should have done here was not do it at night, because it's, well, where are we? 20 past 6 in the evening now, and as we go on, it's just going to get darker and darker, and that will probably lead to an element of mystery with regards to, how much more field have you got to go there, sunshine? And the answer will be, loads, carry on, stop griping. The tractor is already pretty beaten up, as you can tell. It's a brand new plough, so the plough's not to blame here. I mean, I've got Senor Fatty on the front, so that will be contributing a little towards the lack of maintenance we've got going on. And of course, the lack of maintenance, well, that's just going to slow the tractor down. But even at full maintenance and health and performance and whatnot, the tractor's hardly going to be motoring along at a speed that could be described as brisk. No, it's going to be crawling along at a speed that could be described as painful. You ever wonder why the old farming YouTubers or farming sim YouTubers use time lapses? Well, I'll tell you why they use time lapses, because this takes ruddy ages. There's not an awful lot going on, and the other thing that you'll frequently come into contact with is you'll be fiercely pressing down W or whatever you've got that replaces the go forwards button, and you'll be holding it down, and then you'll kind of go, oh, hold on, I might as well just stick cruise control on, and then occasionally wiggle it to get the line right, and so you do that. No, that's what passes for comment. That's why said aforementioned YouTubing channels of the farm simulator folk, they don't bother commenting over this stuff. No. They'll go and get the absolute worst insipid happy house flipping modern crapola music that they can find and slap that underneath instead, and just kind of, they'll, whoa, that's 10 minutes of my video sorted, as it goes up and down and 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 up. They've probably got, some kind of intern doing that for them and gone, oh, hello, sir, I'd really like to be a famous gaming YouTuber. Well, step right in, my lad. I will pay you minimum wage, and what I need you to do, plough this field. All right, I'm off. I'll be back later, and I'll have the new T-shirt design ready when I return. I'll stick this down as a time lapse, wang some really hideous music over the top of it, and the people, they will come a flocking. No, they don't even try to put meaningful commentary over the top of it. What are you supposed to put over the top of it? What? I mean, look, here's me I'm railing against the system, and I'm not talking about the thrills and excitement of the ploughing that's going on. Why do we do this? Why are we playing this game? I love this game. Why is it that I enjoy this game so much when this is it? This is the key part of the experience that you're going through. This is just, oh look, there's the stump ripper. Oh, I clearly had aspirations early on to cut down all the trees in this field, but I decided later to leave them alone because it would make for a slightly more exciting field. Yeah, I mean, because as we know, all fields are pretty flipping exciting. This one even more so. Anyway, let's talk about the technique, shall we? Oh, sure. That's a topic that we can cover. Well, the technique here is that we're going to go round in a gradually decreasing spiral, cutting the edges first, and then gradually spiral in towards the centre. Now, I know that's not an approved method, and that typically what you would do is you'd probably still missed a bit. You'd probably still cut the edges in. That's fine. That's normal. People, dangerous. You'd still cut the edges in. But then after that you'd do a bit of up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, because that's more effective. Because as your spiral gradually gets tighter and tighter, you find yourself taking corners more often, and corners are the best way to waste a whole lot of your effort, energy and willpower on actually being able to do any of this kind of stuff in the first place. So there you go, there, optimum technique. Now obviously we're also kicking out a fair few stones here, so that's going to require a stone grabber to grab the stones and pick them out of the field. Why'd you do this? Well, I can't remember. It's one or both even of the following. Number one, it makes your machinery lose their maintenance value faster. Perfectly reasonable. Or number two, it reduces the yield. You missed a big bit there, son. Do you want to sort that out? Come on. You're not going very fast. You can line yourself up a little bit better than that. And don't use, but it's dark though, isn't it, as any kind of a flipping defence. No, it's very obvious what you were doing. You'd stepped away from the keyboard, hadn't you? You'd left the cruise control on and gone, I'll go and do some tidying while this is doing the next run. Yeah, we all know your game, pal. You're not going to get away with it. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Yeah, we've spoken about the heady techniques that are involved in in this kind of caper. And instead, why don't we now speak of things of greater interest? What am I going to use the field for? Well, I'm very glad you asked, and I've already told you the answer to that a couple of episodes ago. You've probably forgotten it because you're still thinking about the Friends intro and how very funny it was. And going, oh, he's bound to drop a funny bit in here at any time. Could happen at any moment. There'll be a funny bit rock up, and it will validate me having sat through this amount of a tractor going very slowly, gradually turning fake digital grass into fake digital mud. Look at you, you're missing loads. Come on. Oh dear. We'll be looking for a successful third chucker here if she's in with any chance of making the top 3 and a place in the final Thunderdome. Fowler still clinging on to the top of the leaderboard, but the Wizards chief mechanic told me earlier that they're still having problems with that gearbox, so mates struggle in the Gymkhana. The official sounds the klaxon and it's wanging time. That's MC Kaiser Extreme, very quick off the grid, and he may be out of the points, but he's clearly winning this crowd over. It's a solid wang from Attitude, and she needed that, so the pace is right on for a record time as we track down the progress towards turn 1. When I'm beaten, friends, I've had to go for a bit of time lapse just to show that there is actual progress being actually made. You can keep track of how long this escapade is lasting if you just want to keep half an eye on the top right hand corner of the screen. You'll see the time ticking along merrily. This is at 5 times speed. Doesn't look it, does it? No, this is the kind of speed your tractor will do when you're moving at normal speed if you're not doing 8 whole kilometres per hour and missing every conceivable piece of cornering. Oh dearie me, it's just such a shambles. And that's why you see many people will advocate for an up and down method rather than this corkscrew approach that we've got going on there. Like how wobbly the line is there. Oh sure, yeah. Save the game once in a while. That's probably helpful as well. Anyway, what's the plan? Well, we're going to grow cotton, and part of the issue here is that this isn't a particularly big field, and the amount of wedge you have to outlay in order to pay for all your cotton harvesting paraphernalia is quite significant. So part of me wonders, well, it's a couple of months till, I mean, don't plant cotton till the start of the year. So I've got a couple of months left. Yeah, in order to make the money to get the equipment. I mean, it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. All right, trust me, it's going to be fine. Anyway, we'll get the cotton, and then we'll plant that on up, and we'll harvest it, and we'll turn it into fabric that can then be turned into t-shirts and other clothing type behaviour, which will flog through a clothing type behaviour shop for people to purchase, because it is those third tier products that end up making you the big dollars or euros, as the case may be. And I'm all about the big dollars and or euros, as the case may be, and therefore it's worthy of pursuit. And that should take us quite neatly to the end of the series. Well, yeah, we'll do a quick tot up and see how well we've done. Arguably better than we're doing ploughing the old field here. You know, a lot of people use like harrows and other plough type non-ploughs to do this stuff, and there are slightly larger ploughs available, but you need a monster truck of a tractor in order to make that do anything in the slightest. So I stick with the regular plough and my regular tractor, and I regularly do this at night with I've got nowhere else to be. No. Speaking of nowhere else to be, why don't you all subscribe to the channel there? Chances are you are already. I know most of you are, but some of you aren't. And I mean, you know, it doesn't make you a scab for subscribing. No, it's perfectly legitimate. You're not crossing a picket line or anything like that. You're more than welcome. Just give the button a little tappy tap there, and everything goes along a bit longer than I expected. This bit, yeah. I know. Anyway, here we are. We're approaching the 15th minute of this video. 15th minutes, right here. We're approaching it. This is the bit and you've just watched me driving a tractor up and down on a lot of brown. I mean, there's some rain going on now. That's nice if you listen carefully. There's some There's some rain sound in the background. Isn't that nice? Anyway, I'll be back soon with the next one, and I expect to see you there. Otherwise, I'll mark it down in the register as an absenteeism. And you wouldn't want that. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Faye. Catch you next time. Cheerio.